Hello, everyone in the Be the Light Facebook group. Welcome to our speaker hour, week number 2. So excited for you all to be here. This group is growing like wildfire. I literally started it 12 days ago, last Saturday, and it's almost 1,200 members already. And what that tells me is that people need the light right now. They need your light right now. They need your upliftment. They need your inspiration. They need your message, and they need you to be confident in sharing your light and your message. So let's see here. I have a few notes really quickly before we get started. So this group is all about light, positivity, inspiration, upliftment. We're sharing stories from around the world of people doing good right now. There is so much disruption and sadness and uncertainty right now. And this group is to uplift people, to share all of the amazing, wonderful things that people are doing in the world. I have laughed, I have cried, there's been emotions of all the things that these people are doing to make people happy around the world. It's just so amazing the things that are happening. So in this time of darkness, we are looking for the light. We are looking for the positivity, and this is the place to be. Okay, you are encouraged in this group to share your love, share your light, share your positive messages, share the things that you're finding that of good things that are happening around the world. And I encourage you to share the group. That's one reason, a big reason why this group has grown so quickly in the last week and a half, is because all of you are sharing the light. You're sharing the group, you're inviting your friends to the group, you're sending private messages with the link and telling them how amazing it is. Please keep sharing, keep inviting, share this video, share it out to your groups, your Facebook profile, share it anywhere you can think of, because this is going to be a super amazing hour. And I would love to see this group be 2,000 members by the end of the weekend. So we have a mission. And I know we can do it because we did 1,000 in a week last week. So we can do this. So I invite you again to share this video, because we're going to have some really super amazing speakers tonight. And I am having this speaker hour once a week as well. So mark your calendar for Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and join us right here in the group every single week and every day, because it's amazing. All right, so on to our speakers. Our first speaker tonight is Jean Catherine Carlson. I love this woman. I met her several years ago, and she, like me, used to be very shy and has just absolutely brightened the world and grown her confidence, and she shares her light and her amazingness every single day in the world. And so Jean Catherine is going to help us tonight do some tapping to help us shift if we're kind of scattered, if we're in fear. She's going to help us do a little bit of EFT tapping to shift from fear to love, so we can shine even brighter right now in the world. So Jean Catherine, let me bring you on here. Okay, speaker view. Okay, Jean Catherine, take it away. I'm gonna unmute you.
Well, hello, Be the Light community, and thank you, Erin, for following your inspiration. You are such a model to all of us to how to hear an inspiration, run with it, and invite the world to join. And man, does the universe have your back, girl. And it's just like exploding. I love being a part of this. So thank you. So yes, it is time for us to be the light. And it is also time to acknowledge the shadow. So this is, hang on, let's see, there we go. All right, I had to set my timer. It's time to be the light. The sun does not shine without a shadow. We are not unaffected by everything going on in the world. So the question is, how do we allow the fear and the sadness and the grief to be in our experience without diminishing the light? And here's the big message that I have for you. I'm going to start and end with this, is that when we can embrace the paradox of being able to lean into the fear and touch the fear without letting it overtake us, then our light gets even bigger. So fear is a gift. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of fear that the gift part of the fear is when we almost get run over by a car and something takes us over and we realize we need to get out of the way. That fear we want to keep going on because it keeps us surviving. The kind of fear that's going around today is almost like anticipatory fear, where it's having us anticipate something bad. Certainly there are things going on right now, but for most of us, we're safe in this environment. So the fear and the grief that we touch, that we feel, is real. And of course, we're going to feel it. And the question is, again, how do we touch it without letting it take us over? Rumi, one of my favorite poets, talks about we human beings being a guest house for emotions. So let's imagine that. We're a guest house for emotion. It says every day there's a new crowd that appears. I submit that right now, every minute a new crowd appears. You know, there's the fear, there's the overwhelm, there's the anxiety, there's the isolation, there's all of these things that crowd around inside us and come and visit. And how can we welcome them and yet not let them take up residence? We don't want residence in our bodies that are the fear and the overwhelm. No, we want to acknowledge them and move out. So here's what happens when we don't, and then we're going to tap. When we don't acknowledge the fear, it gets stuffed. And that doesn't really clear it. And guess what? We're never going to be without feeling fear. That's not what we're going for. We're going for the power of allowing fear to be here, allowing me to experience fear, and feeling it, acknowledge it, give it a voice, and then give it a rest. And then open up to even greater expansiveness and greater possibility for light and creativity. Tapping. We are going to do a couple rounds of tapping on this. And tapping, if you're new to tapping, it's not tap dancing, so you don't have to get up and put your shoes on. This is tapping where we use the energy meridians. These are ancient meridians. And by the way, I just washed my hands. I'm going to be directing you to touch your face. If you're not comfortable with touching your face, just tap on your collarbone. That's fine too. Be responsible. Take responsibility for your own well-being. So tapping is honoring that we are energy beings. All of these micro channels that we have of energy, they're running through our bodies. Imagine them like streamlets running through the forest. If there are blocks, if there are boulders in the stream, the water can't run as smoothly. How do you know if your energy is blocked? With your GPS emotional system. If you're feeling fear, if you're feeling tense, if you're feeling anxious, your energy isn't flowing. So tapping helps us do that. We're going to tap today. If the first time you've tried it, here's some of the kind of responses. You might feel some tingling. You might feel a little bit lighter. All of that is good. And you might not feel anything. It's still working. Let's start. And Erin is going to be my echo voice. Thank you, Erin. We're going to start with this place right here. I will be pointing to the points that we're going to be tapping on. We're going to start with, this is called the karate chop. And the setup statement that we're going to use is all about the paradox of honoring what is and loving it all. So here we go. On the beginning of the karate chop, repeating after me. Even though there's all this fear in the world. And sometimes I get caught up in it. It catches me. And I want to love and honor all of me anyway. And then on the other hand, and let's do it again. Even though there's all this fear in the world. And I don't like it. But it catches me sometimes. And I want to love, honor, and accept all of me anyway. And one more time. Even though there's all this fear. And I don't like it. But sometimes I got it. And I want to find a way to love and accept all of me anyway.
And I want to find a way to love and accept all of me anyway.
Okay, and then just lightly shake that out. Imagine that you've got all that fear just like shaking out of your fingers and shaking that out. Okay, now we're going to tap on the body. You may notice that we're tapping on fear. Often the question is, why would we don't want more fear, we want to feel free from it. Well, here's the trick. If we never give fear a voice, it'll stay stuck in our energy forever. But when we give fear a voice, I feel heard, I can leave now. So let's give fear a voice. Beginning of the eyebrows. All this fear
on
the outside of the eyebrows. Honestly, there's fear out there.
Honestly, there's fear out there.
Under the eyes. This is a crazy time.
This is a crazy time.
Under the nose and on the chin. I'd be crazy not to be afraid.
I'd be crazy not to be afraid.
On the collarbone. Sometimes it's hard to shine my light.
Sometimes it's hard to shine my light.
Because I'm stuck in fear.
I'm stuck in fear.
On the top of the head. Isn't it responsible to be afraid right now?
Isn't it responsible to be afraid right now?
And on the beginning of the eyebrows. All I know is it doesn't feel good.
All I know is it doesn't feel good.
And on the outside of the eyebrows. And I don't think I can help other people when I don't feel good.
And I don't think I can help other people when I don't feel good.
Under the eyes. But I can be okay with this scared part of me.
But I can be okay with this scared part of me.
Under the nose and on the chin. Maybe it just needs a little love.
Maybe it just needs a little love.
On the collarbone. So I can love myself.
So I can love myself.
And the top of the eyebrows and this fearful part of me.
And this fearful part of me.
And beginning, one more round, and the beginning of the eyebrows. I choose to open to love.
I choose to open to love.
On the outside of the eyebrows. And I choose to allow the fear.
And I choose to allow the fear.
Under the eyes. Because when I do both.
Because when I do both.
Under the nose and on the chin, my light is stronger and more authentic than ever.
My light is stronger and more authentic than ever.
And on the collarbone. And I do want to be the light of love.
And I do want to be the light of love.
And on the top of the head. And I acknowledge that I am the light of love.
And I acknowledge that I am the light of love.
Okay, and shaking that out and just feel now into your body. Erin, are you notice anything? Just got a curiosity?
Yeah, a little tingly.
Yeah, a little tingling. So there's a little bit of energy moving there. So one more thing we're going to do right at the tail end here is we're going to put our left hand into the left wrist into the right hand. I'm holding it up here so you can see it. Just going to put it down here now. Relax. Squeeze to the gentle beat of your heart and repeat after me. Let it go, let it go, let it go.
Let it go, let it go, let it go.
Let go of the fear.
Let go of the fear.
And hold on to the light.
And hold on to the light.
And breathing in. And on the out breath, hands on your lap and say peace.
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 Thank you for tapping with me. Tap every day. Come over to Wake Up to Vibrant Living and we will tap together. I'm showing up there every single day so that we can tap, release the fear so we can truly be the light. And let's go for the next 1,000.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jean Catherine. I really appreciate that. That was wonderful. We released some fear, brought in some light and love. And Jean Catherine, when you get a chance, go over to the Facebook Live and put in your link for your Vibrant Living page so that people can follow you. Jean Catherine's been doing a lot of tapping on her Facebook page, everyone. So if you want to go follow Jean Catherine, do some more tapping. Do as much as you can, as much as you want, because it's really, really good for your body and releasing the fear. So thank you so much for that. And next we have Lindsay Gledhill. And everyone, if you're enjoying this speaker hour, please share it to your own pages. Click the share button. Lindsay Gledhill is amazing, as you are going to see. And he's going to share with us how he deeply impacts strangers by just asking a couple simple questions. Welcome, Lindsay.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been interesting the last couple of years of what transformation has happened within me, as Jean had mentioned, and Erin. I wasn't always shy, but I wasn't one to go up and talk to complete strangers all the time. But for the last 2.5 years, I've made it a point to do that just to brighten up their day. When it first started was about 2.5 years ago in Salt Lake City. I was coming back from lunch into a personal development seminar. And I'm sure each one of you have had that mental download come to you where a thought comes to you and you think, there's no way in the world that I'm going to do that, because if I do, they're going to think I'm crazy. Well, this is one of the days. So as I was walking back into the Salt Palace, I had to walk up this slight incline to get to the main hallway to go to the right. And up at the corner, there were two ladies sitting on a bench, and they were talking to a gentleman that was standing. And as I continued to walk, I thought, well, wait a minute. I'm from California. I'm in Utah. And even if they do think I'm crazy, who cares? Because I'm never going to see them again anyway. So I proceeded to walk up, and I stood there. And as we just got rid of our fear thoughts, I was a little apprehensive at first because I had no idea how it was going to be received, what I was about to do. So I stood there for, it seemed like a couple of minutes, but it was probably 10 seconds. And when they finally looked at me, I said, excuse me, I need to confirm something that I heard about the three of you to see if it's true. And the looks on the two ladies, it was like daggers. Who have you been talking to? And what did they say? And the lady that was sitting closest to me, she looked at me and she said, so what did you hear? And I said, as a matter of fact, I heard that the three of you are amazing individuals. Is this true? And immediately both ladies, changed from a concerned look to one from a smile from ear to ear. And there again, the lady closest to me, she said, and you couldn't tell that just by looking at us? With a little bit of laughter in her voice. And I said, well, I could, but I still had to ask to make sure it was true. And then the gentleman that was standing, he just said, but I'm just good. And inside I thought, but yet the lady that was sitting next to him pointed in his direction. And she said, but he is amazing by association with us. And I thought, yes. So anyway, I stood there for a little bit. We talked about positive things. And I said, well, I need to be getting back to my conference. And both the ladies said, thanks for sharing that with us, because, it's after lunch, it's in the afternoon, we're in the conference, and, it kind of drags on. And so I said, well, you're welcome. So I'm walking down the hallway, maybe 15, 20 yards, and I hear another couple walk out of another room. And I glance over my shoulder and I think, should I or shouldn't I? And I thought, you know what? The first one went good. Let me try it again. So I go back, and the gentleman's closest to me, and I walk up and I said, excuse me, I need to confirm something that I heard about the two of you to see if it's true. And the gentleman with kind of a stern voice and a look, he said, and who are you with? Because they both had their lanyards on, and I had mine, but mine was tucked in my pocket because I just got back from lunch. And I said, oh, that doesn't matter. I just need to confirm whether it's true or not. So the lady said, well, what did you hear? And I said, I heard that the two of you are amazing individuals. Is this true? And immediately they both smiled. And the lady said, as a matter of fact, we are, and thank you for recognizing it. So the gentleman just would not let go of it. And he said, so who told you this? And I said, as a matter of fact, it was the little birdie that came by and whispered it in my ear that you two were amazing. And so they both laughed. And so they were heading the same direction. We just talked about positive things. And we got down to the bathroom and talked a little bit more. I said, well, you two have business to take care of, and I need to get back to my conference. So they both thanked me. And so since then, to complete random strangers, I will go up to them and I'll say, excuse me, I heard something about you and I need to confirm whether it's true. And most of the time, it always gets the negative thing. Okay, what did they say? Who'd you hear it from? But yet when I come out and say, I heard that you're amazing, is that true? Most of the time they'll step into it and own it. And about a year later, after I first came up with this, I came up with a second thought or a second question. And the second question is, well, seeming you're amazing, would you be willing to share with me one thing that makes you amazing? And I'll tell you that the barriers go down, and it's like you have just become their new best friend, because now you think they're amazing and they just shared with you something that makes them amazing. And sometimes people struggle with it, but if they have a coworker close to them, you know, because usually they wear name tags, and I'll look at the coworker and I'll say, John, what's one thing that makes Mary amazing? And then John will rattle off 2 or 3 things right away. And Mary gets a little, you know, surprised because she didn't know that John thought that she was amazing. And then I'll ask Mary, what's one thing that makes John amazing? And then she'll say the same, you know, something that makes John amazing. So it has strengthened that bond between the 2 coworkers, that they both think the other one's amazing. And what I do frequently is on the phone, you know, because a lot of times I'll call different companies and they'll answer the phone, they'll tell you their name. And just as a common practice, they'll say, oh, this is Amelia. And I'll say, so is this the amazing Amelia? And a lot of times it'll be, you know, they'll hesitate a little bit, but they'll step into it and own it. And they'll say, well, as a matter of fact, this is the amazing Amelia. And I'll say, well, good, because I didn't want to speak to just any Amelia. I wanted to speak to the amazing Amelia. And it just makes a world of difference in the conversation. And I've actually come up with a design for a t-shirt. And here's what it says, that you are amazing. And it's been interesting when I go different places and I'm wearing this shirt, I don't even have to say anything. And people just have this huge smile because they think that they're amazing because they're looking at my t-shirt. And it's been just very rewarding, and it picks up my day as well as their day. So it's been a ton of fun. And one thing I did want to share before I finish is that each one of us are amazing in our own right. And there's a lot of things that we have strengths and talents and resources, but to us, we don't think that they are. So by sharing those with other people, it helps strengthen us, but it also helps edify that other person. So thank you, Aaron, for this opportunity to share this with your audience.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. I love hearing those stories every single time you tell them, because you really light up people's lives everywhere you go by asking them if they're amazing and getting them to tell you why they're amazing. And so thank you for following your intuition, the divine download that came to you that day in Utah, and just continuing to share your light and how amazing you are in the world. So thank you so much. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can they get in touch with you if they want to talk with you?
Yeah, I do have my own Facebook page. It's called The Amazing Challenge. I haven't been quite as active in it lately because I do taxes for a living currently. And I've been a little under the weather, well, not under the weather, but a little overwhelmed with
inundated,
taxes. Yeah. But I will be participating in there quite a bit more as soon as tax season's over.
Perfect. All right. Well, make sure you put that link in with the video so we can, everyone can find you and follow you. And everyone, if you're enjoying this, make sure to share the video out to your people too, so we can spread the light much bigger ways. Next, we have Stephanie Mears, and she's going to share with us how to create unique ways to grow your business and yourself personally tonight. So take it away, Stephanie. Super excited to have you. And Stephanie is amazing too.
Well, thank you very much, my beautiful friend. So I'm super excited to be on tonight. Thank you so much. And I don't know about you guys, but it seems like a lot of people are going through some major adversities, or seeing a lot of problems between the coronavirus and the markets and just kind of everything, right? So what I came to kind of a realization about in this whole thing, because we can look at it 2 ways, right, guys? We can either see it as this is a lot of problems, I'm going to be depressed and I'm going to hide away and just not deal with it. Or we can take the opportunity, this opportunity to literally improve ourselves, right? So one of my biggest sayings, and something that my mentor has been saying for 8 years, is adversity creates opportunity. I'm going to say that one more time because this is really good. Adversity creates opportunity. Because right now we're in a very interesting world. I don't know how else to describe it other than interesting. But the reality is that we can take this time and build ourselves and build our businesses and build and learn something that we have not known in the past. So I'm going to give you 4 little keys of ways that you, as in this place, in this time, can really go to another level for yourself, for your business, and so much more. Okay. So one is, I want you to think about what's something that you've wanted to do for years, but haven't had time to do. Just think about that for a moment. For me, there's been so many things that I've utilized. I've read more books in the last 3 weeks than I've read in probably 5 years. I know that's really sad, but true. I've also learned how to draw Minnie Mouse with my daughter. I mean, just random stuff, right? It doesn't have to be something where it's a lifelong lesson. It could just be something fun that you've been wanting to learn how to do, right? So just think about that for a moment. What are the things that you've been wanting to do for years that you just never had the opportunity or the time to do to help self-improve and move forward? The second thing was your health. So I don't know about you guys, but I have walked more walks with my family in the past 3 weeks than I've probably walked with my family in 10 years. Again, sad but true, but I mean, it's been wonderful because the reality is your health is extremely important, and this is not a time to let it go away. It's time to build on the health you were at before and get even better and learn ways of working out from home or from taking a walk or whatever that may be. There's so many free resources out there right now to be able to do yoga from home, or I mean, even like a step class. It really is up to you how you want to improve your health. The next one is building your business and financial picture. Okay. So the third one is really important. So if you're not a business owner, that's fine. Look at your financial picture right now. Okay. So in your retirement, in your finances in general, do you have enough money to last for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months? Okay. So evaluate where you're at and figure out, okay, how do I fix it? The average millionaire has at least 7 streams of income, at least. Okay, guys. So what that means to you and I is, okay, well, if I only have one full-time job and one income, but that income goes away, like a lot of people's right now, look into other options, some passive income, some other options, other investment opportunities. That's the time for you to really be analyzing and reviewing your financial picture. And if you need help, there's a lot of people out there who are willing to help, but also there's a ton of education online for free right now or very low costs. And same with your business. A lot of people are building their business online more than they ever have in the past, because right now we're in a place where most people can't physically meet, right? And I'm missing that, you guys, like missing it like crazy. I miss my girls and my guys, and I just miss hugs and I just miss it. But the nice thing is right now is a time to build on where you're at before and move forward with your business. And that could be done by educating yourself with new avenues, becoming innovative with new ways of marketing your business. So my fourth thing is online opportunities are huge right now. So what I mean by that is you can not only educate yourself on YouTube or one of the many other links that are, well, I post something pretty much daily on our little empowerment group of free opportunities. But right now is seriously a great opportunity to learn, to grow, and everything can be done online. You can be talking to close friends who know how to do something. If you don't have a friend who can do it and you can't find something online, I'm sure somebody within your 10 people that you know will know somebody who can help you. So just ask around. So right now is your time to shine, ladies and gentlemen. Right now is the time to take where you were before this all started happening and grow and make your life even better than when it started, this whole situation, right, guys? It's not it's not the time to get fear and hold back. Because I know that was my first intention. Is I was a little bit freaked out at first. You know, I'm sure most people are still freaked out. Right now is not the time to get freaked out. Right now is the time to move forward and get to that next level. And so I want you guys to really think about what are those things that I mentioned in the beginning. One, what is the things that you've been wanting to work on? What are things that you think, oh gosh, you know, I haven't wanted to do that, but now I have some extra time. So here's a really great book. I can learn how to, you know, build an Excel file the size it needs to be, or learn how to funnel with emails or whatever that may be. Again, number two is your health. Look into how you can be improving your health on a daily basis. So at the end of this, you're stronger than you started. Number three, build your business and your financial picture to where you're again in a place where you actually are stronger than where you started in this situation too. And last but not least, there's so many amazing opportunities to learn right now, to get help. So many people who want to help, so many people who want to help. There's no reason for you not to be able to find the help you need, either by a person or online. So you guys, that's what we're here for. Ms. Erin Sum is phenomenal. So if you need help with coaching, that girl knows what she's doing. And there's so many other amazing people out there. So we're really excited about where we are going in this life. And right now, I personally am taking this time to get to another level. I'm taking this time to really not be fearful, but push through. So I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to do the same thing. Push through the fear and become stronger than you were 3 weeks ago.
Wonderful. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, tell us a little bit about Empower Hour and the butterfly element, what you're doing. You're the founder and CEO of Empower Hour, and we have several branches in Sacramento, and there's branches all over the US. So tell us just about that real quickly.
Yeah, so Empower Hour is a women's empowerment group in the United States. We have several branches, like she said, around the United States. We have 2.1 million followers around the world, including in China and many other places. We actually have been around for almost 4 years, only 3 days away from being around for 4 years.
Yay.
Can't believe it's been 4 years already. And so it's a wonderful way to connect with other women, to build each other up, to show nothing but love, and there's no cattiness allowed. We're 100% to show love and really be helpful to one another. And then for the butterfly element, we help women and children on the streets. Through Empower Hour, we have coaching availability for free to people who can't afford it. Coaching from business to confidences and life coaches and grieving coaches and so much more. So it's a really great little nonprofit that we genuinely care about people, and we really want to help the community and eventually the world.
Right. And you have a very special place in your heart for women and children who are on the streets.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So tell us really quickly, we have about a minute and a half for your talk.
Perfect.
So yeah, keep going.
As a child, I lived on the streets with my drug addicted mother, and I lived with drug dealers in cars, or in a really bad places. I saw gang members get shot. I got to see, just some of the worst things you could ever imagine to a child going through. I literally went to, and at 8 years old, I chose to no longer live that life. And since then, I literally went from a child on the streets to a millionaire before I was 36.
Yeah, you are the VP, right? Of financial, you're VP.
What?
You're a VP, right? Of a financial.
Yeah. Amongst the many things I do.
Right.
Yes, I'm also a vice president of an investment firm, which is my ultimate favorite. I just love it. Absolutely. Because if you don't have money, you live on the streets. But if you have plenty of it, you're good to go. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I love your story, Steph, and I asked you to share that with everyone because so often we think that we're dealt certain cards in life and we don't have, those are the cards we're dealt and that's it, right? But you at the age of 8 said, this is not the life for me to live. And you and your sister, you went and you lived with an aunt, I believe it was, and you took your life in your own hands at that point and said, this, no more, I am going to live a better life than this. And you went off on your own path, and you are absolutely amazing. You do so much for so many other people. And I just want everyone to know that anything is possible.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And next we have Kevin Bracey. Kevin is absolutely amazing. I met Kevin 7-8 years ago, something like that. I was still pretty shy back then, and but we met, and you kind of, you lifted me up, and you saw the light in me, and I just think you're amazing. And for those of you who don't know Kevin, Kevin speaks I'll let you tell them what you do, Kevin, but he speaks all over the place and uplifts children and teens, and he actually traveled the world with Les Brown when he was getting started as a speaker. So he is just absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say, Kevin.
Oh my goodness, I'm excited to be here, Jean. Oh my goodness, I love how you talk about fear and the connection. You're, not pushing it away, embracing it and moving through it. I love that. Lindsay, you are amazing. Stephanie, come on now, powerful. And I call Erin, her name is Erin Sum, but I call her E Sunshine because she shines like the light. But let me tell you this. She's been shining since day one. Even when you weren't as confident, when you were this shy person sitting and going to the seminars and connected to continuing to learn personal development, you just sat, you took notes, you were kind of in the back of the room, but I always saw that smile from day one. And I've seen your growth. Absolutely amazing. Now you're in front of the room. Now you're the leader. But I remember when you were in the back of the room and you worked your way up. So anything that E Sunshine is teaching or whatever she has going on, you got to make it a point to be there and get around this light, because I've seen personally the transformation, and you're still in it like we all are. So thank you. And I'd like to just start by saying this. If you can hear the sound of my voice right now, do you know how awesome you are? How brilliant you are? That you are enough? Whatever the challenges and struggles that you're going through, we all have one common struggle right now just in the world, but whatever things you have on top of that, you have the power, we have the power to overcome those things. You're beautiful just the way you are. You have talents and gifts and skills and abilities that right now, I'm like you, I'm a speaker, but I want to cover up and just kind of hide for a minute. I really do. But there's greatness in you. There's nobody in the world like you. And right now, just like all of the other awesome speakers are saying, you have light, and do the best that you can. We all have some light to shine. And you brought this group together, and it's beaming right. I mean, it's shining all over the world right now, and it hasn't even scratched the surface. And I have to say that I wake up every day with this, like when I first opened my eyes, it's like, are we out of this yet? Is this real? And there's a moment every day that I wake up where there's a tremendous amount of sadness in my heart, not for necessarily for my family, but for the world. I would have to say 3 times a day, I try to just consume just small bits and pieces of the news, NEWS, negative education with stories. I try to consume just a little bit just to kind of see what's going on. I'm not going to put my head in the sand. I want to see what's going on, but not spend my entire day hooked to the television and hooked to all the news and hooked to all the negativity. But I have my moments when I'm scared. I have my moments throughout every day. I'm talking every day where I have a tremendous amount of fear. Every single day I have those moments where I think, man, is the sky really falling right now? I have those moments. I'm not, as every time I'm doing Zoom meetings or speaking these days, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk with you, because I can just as easily be sitting and watching this right now. And just like I had the opportunity and the privilege to hear all the speakers so far, and I look forward to hearing you, Esam. I'm going to tell you right now, there's greatness in you. And just because I'm talking does not mean that I got this thing all figured out, because I don't. But I spent some time with fear my entire life. You could see behind me the banners that say scared great, because I've been scared my whole life. Scared I wasn't good enough, scared I wasn't smart enough, scared I wasn't handsome enough to ever find a wife, scared I wasn't going to be a good enough speaker to make it in the speaking business. I've been scared my entire life, but here's what I learned about fear. The late, great Zig Ziglar says, fear is false evidence appearing real. I think most of us have heard that before, but I have to respectfully and lovingly disagree with my friend Zig, because fear is real. I do personally feel it. But the question becomes, how do we steer our fear? Even amid throughout the day when you have your moments when you want to break down and cry, I feel you. But how do we steer it? Just one thing that has changed the trajectory of my life, and I believe it's changed the trajectory of generations not yet born in the Bracy family. And it's a quote that connected with my mind and my heart, and it's funny, I've been speaking about it for years, but now today in the world where we live today, I really have to think about the words that I'm teaching and live this every day. And it is simply this: do not give mental repetition to the possibility of failure, fear, doubt, and or defeat. I'm gonna say it again. Do not give mental repetition. I used to say recognition. You're going to recognize when you're afraid. You're going to recognize when you have fear, but let's not give it mental repetition. Do not give mental repetition to the possibility of failure, fear, doubt, or defeat. You say, okay, Kevin, that's cute. How do I do that though? Here's how I've learned to do it. When your mind goes negative, your mouth goes positive right now. When your mind goes negative, your mouth goes positive. Mind goes negative, mouth goes positive. When your mind says, I can't, my mouth says, yes, I can. When your mind says, I'm not good enough, your mouth says, I am good enough. When your mind says, I'm not smart enough, your mouth says, I am brilliant. We're fighting this battle with our minds all day long. And I got this concept from my favorite athlete of all time. His name is Muhammad Ali. The late great Muhammad Ali is known as the greatest boxer of all time. Although he lost 5 fights, but he's still known as the greatest. Why? Because he told us he was. Because he convinced ourselves. In trying to convince him, he convinced us that he was the greatest. He used to say, I'm the greatest. Who told him he was the greatest? He did. He said, I'm pretty. Who told him he was pretty? He said, I'm a bad man. I shook up the world. He said, I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. He said, I must be the greatest. He said, last night I had a dream. In Africa, I had one hell of a rumble. I had to whoop Tarzan's behind first for claiming to be the king of the jungle. For this fight, I've wrestled with alligators. I've tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning and throw thunder in jail. You know I'm bad. I've murdered a rock. I've injured a stone. I've hospitalized a brick. He said, I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. I'm so fast, man, I can run through a hurricane and don't get wet. When George Foreman meets me, he's gonna pay his debt. I can drown a drink of water or kill a dead tree. Wait until you see. Ali, he talked himself into greatness so that he would not give mental repetition to the possibility of failure, fear, doubt, or defeat. And that's where we are right now, all day long. We're fighting this battle of fear. We've got to interrupt our negative thoughts, interrupt that fear, interrupt that doubt, interrupt that defeat by speaking out positive words all day long. And then eventually we reprogram our thinking. Eventually it becomes a habit. So we're not saying don't be afraid, fight through the fear. You should never be afraid. No, we're all going to be afraid. And when you're afraid, it's only because you're human. Welcome to being a human. We all have fear. It's okay. Well, I want to start this business and I want to do this thing online, but I don't know about it. I'm afraid. So some people don't start because they feel like I'm doing something wrong because I feel fear. No. You feel fear. You feel scared because you're human. there's greatness in you. You and I, we haven't even scratched the surface of what we're capable of doing, being, and having. Amid this cloud of fear, this cloud of uncertainty, in the 1930s during the Great Depression, there were companies and organizations that surfaced after it was all over. There were companies that weren't there before that were there afterwards. That could be you and I, if we're willing to steer our fear towards our greatness every day. As I close, give your best effort to whatever ideas and strategies you have in your mind. Just give your best effort. Give it your best focus. Let's work to become the best versions of ourselves every single day and have the mindset: better today than yesterday, better today than yesterday, better today than yesterday. Do not give mental repetition to the possibility of failure, fear, doubt, or defeat. How do we do that? Mind goes negative, mouth goes positive. You're beautiful. You're awesome. There's greatness in you. Throw your brace at me. Brace, see ya. I'm done, Esau.
I love you.
Thank you too.
That was so amazing. I've got goosebumps over here. I'm going, oh, yeah. I just love hearing you talk every single time. You're so uplifting and powerful. And I know everyone just took so much away from that. Thank you so much. Steer your fear to greatness, everyone.
So,
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about how important your confidence and your light is right now, and how important spreading your message is right now. The light you see in others is a reflection of the light that is within you. I'm going to say that again. The light that you see in others is a reflection of the light that is within you. You cannot see something in someone else unless it's in you first. It's in you if you see it in someone else. Light and confidence go hand in hand. The more confident you are, the more light you share in the world. Okay, so think about it. How often do you see someone who's super confident and they radiate and they shine and they're just shining their light and they're sharing their message and they're a magnet to people, right? When they're confident and shining their light, they magnetize people to them. And when you see someone growing themselves over time, like Kevin mentioned, we were talking at the beginning of his talk, where when he and I met, I was in the background. He said he could see my light, but I was in the background. I was shy. I was quiet. I wasn't so sure. I wasn't so confident, but I grew myself over time. And I stepped more into my confidence and more into my self-worth and my power, and my light started to grow brighter. And that's what happens with people when they grow their confidence, right? Comment yes if you think that's true, if you've seen that in others, if you've seen that in yourself. As they grow their own confidence, as they shine their own light, as they overcome those limiting beliefs, those fears, those I'm not worthies, and they step up, they shine brighter. And they can spread their message in a bigger way. And they become a magnet, not only to others, but to everything that they want as well. The relationships, that deep, fulfilling love, the making that bigger impact in the world, right? Those people who are confident and shining bright are making a bigger impact. And it's time for you to grow and glow, to be a magnet to everything that you want. So there's no more shrinking, you guys. This is the time. This is your time to spread your light, to uplift and empower others. Your confidence and your message is more important than ever right now. So many people are suffering right now. They're in fear, they're in pain. They don't know what's going on. And what they need right now is what you've got. Your people are out there waiting for you. They need you. It's time for you to be a beacon of light. The world needs leaders right now to step up and to share their brilliance and their greatness. When people are afraid, they're seeking confidence and they're seeking clarity. They want to know, they want to see someone take a stand up and say, here's what you need to do. They need leaders. They need hope and light through that darkness. That's why this group has grown so fast, because people need the light right now. Be the light that they're seeking. So I want you to ask yourself, once we're done here, get out your journal and write down, journal out, what message is on your heart that you want to share with the world right now? That maybe you're not sharing yet, that maybe you've been too afraid to share before. What message is on your heart that you've been wanting to share, that you've been holding back on? And I want you to know that whatever message is on your heart, whatever that message is, you are good enough to share it. You're good enough to spread that message to those people that need to hear it. You are the energy of love and light. Love and light is the truth of who you are. And there are thousands of people out there that are dying to hear what you have to say. Thousands of people. They need you right now. Okay, and that might be scary. Let me tell you, when I sat down last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, to start this group, I had fear because I could see that this is what people needed and that it was going to grow very quickly. I just knew in my gut that it was going to grow quickly, and there was fear there because, oh my gosh, I'm opening myself up to so many more people. But it was exciting, and I knew that I needed to create this group and start sharing my message in a bigger way to more people, because that's what the world needs. And the world needs your message too. So I want you to ask yourself, after you ask yourself, what is that message that you want to share that's on your heart? If you're not sharing that message, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What's stopping you? What's the fear there? Is there a belief that you're not enough? Is it a fear of being seen or judged or criticized? Is it somebody else's belief? Sometimes we have other people's beliefs about the world that are stopping us. Maybe it's a message you heard from someone else in your life. We hold ourselves back from what we truly want out of fear most often. We've been talking about fear this whole hour. Fear of not being enough, not having enough value. Nobody's going to care about your message. Nobody wants to hear that. It's all been said before. The way you say it is different. You do have a message that people need to hear. Be that light that they're seeking. So sometimes we need to build our confidence in order to be able to share the message. We need to change those limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs. And that building confidence requires digging deep, uncovering and busting through those blocks that are stopping you, those fears, those feeling the fears and doing it anyway. I felt that fear of starting this group and I did it anyway because I knew that I needed to do it and I wanted to do it and I wanted to spread the light and I wanted to support other people in sharing their message. So have you ever seen anyone who is not confident, but who's spreading their message far and wide and making a huge impact? Probably not. This is critical. Building your confidence is critical to sharing your message and making that big impact. So if you're sitting at home and you're feeling helpless or hopeless, remember that who you are is love and light itself. Who you are is love and light itself. You can make a difference, and who you are makes a difference. Who you are makes a difference. So the more confident you are in yourself and the more your light shines through, the bigger the difference that you can make and the more people you can impact. So what's on your heart right now? What message do you want to share? What do you want to do to support people during this time? Be the light that they're seeking. Okay. So I have a free gift for you tonight, and I'll post the link in the group after. I want to support you in growing your confidence and being the light. So it is my Confident Woman Challenge. It's 12 days of overcoming fears and limiting beliefs and confidence building mini challenges you'll get in your email inbox every single day to help you see your worth and to see your brilliance and your skills and help you to see just how amazing you are, to dig deep, to help you marketing yourself if you have a business, to share your message and your light, and to help more people during this time and to make a bigger impact. As Kevin said, every time there's a depression or a recession, there are businesses that come out on the other side and grow through it. And I want that to be you. I want you to grow through this. Okay. So when you sign up for this challenge, it's free. You get the challenge in your inbox every single day. Okay, now's the time to dig deep and build your confidence. Like Stephanie said, this is the time to do some personal growth, right? We're sitting around. Let's do a little less Netflix and a little more digging deep right now. Okay, so I will post this link for you in the comments on the video. And I want to leave you with, well, first, before I share this favorite quote of mine, I want to just tell you quickly about next week. Next week, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place. Next week's speakers, we have Megan Fenyo, who is amazing. She's the founder of the I Am Enough movement. We're going to hear from her next week. We're going to hear from Nafsheen Luhar on how to build resilience through tough times. We're going to hear from Ashley Admazai, who's the intuitive life coach and manifestation expert, and she's going to help us release trapped emotions. And Raina Rose, who is a soul nutritionist, and we're going to talk about maintaining abundance and consciousness during challenging times next week with her as well. And I want to share this beautiful quote. This is my very favorite quote in the whole wide world. It's by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's not our light. It is our light, not our darkness that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us, and it is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I will see you next week at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. And until then, be the light. Keep sharing this group, keep inviting people and growing so that we can make a bigger ripple effect across the globe. Remember, your people need you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you to all our amazing speakers. Have a wonderful night, everyone.